Good evening, everybody. I will call this meeting to order at 6 o'clock, and welcome. For the audience here tonight, my name is David Gerber, and I am the chair and serve as the presiding officer over the Community Service Commission meeting. Here we go. In consideration of others and the business conducted tonight, please silence your phones and any electronic devices and refrain from speaking unless recognized. If you are in attendance and wish to speak during public comment, speaker cards are located in the lobby area at the rear of the chamber. Please fill out a card and submit it to the recording admin before the close of the public comment. Again, this is a public meeting for the community of Glendora. We appreciate and respect your participation here this evening. I will take roll. At this time, in attendance is Commissioner Brittany Lewis-Porcher, Commissioner Eddie Kuyunjian, Commissioner Steve Sally, Vice Chair Mike Kotowski, and myself, Chair David Gerber. If you wouldn't mind, please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Steve, would you give us the honors?
Sure. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Moving on, reordering of and additions to the agenda. Does anyone wish to reorder or add to the agenda at all? Okay, that would be a no. Moving on to public comment. At this time, I open public comment. Period. I invite members of the public to address the legislative body. Speakers are invited to 3 minutes. Speak once on behalf of both on and off agenda items. If you are in attendance, please fill out a speaker card and submit it to the recording admin before the close of public comments. Once recognized, speakers should advance to the podium, state your name and the subject matter you wish to discuss. I invite anybody here. Is there any public comments?
I have none.
Therefore, I will close public comments. Next on the agenda, member statements. I invite our staff and our officers here to report. I'll start from my right. Steve, anything to report?
Sure, thank you. The Sports Council did not meet in July. So what I'll share is a mixture of the June meeting and all of the links I was clicking on this morning to find out how our local teams have been doing. So starting with GYS Youth Soccer, their registration as of June 9th, which was the date of our meeting, was 1,368 kids, 112 teams. That's down about 50 kids or so from the prior year, but they still had a week remaining of registrations. Practices are scheduled to begin for that league on August 10th. Football, we all got an invitation for opening day. Opening day ceremonies for youth football will be on Friday, August 14th. The Little Leagues, it's All-Star season. The Glendora National hosted the 8-year-old tournament for All-Stars. Glendora American hosted the 12-year-old tournament. Glendora American won the 9-year-old tournament and the 12-year-old tournament. And they are hosting the sectional tournament up there at Goddard, Section 3 for the 12-year-olds. And they're playing right now. It's the finals. So they're playing, I think it was West Covina maybe? But yeah.
There, they're playing West Covina. Winner goes on to the state tournament.
Right.
And Glendora was winning 2-0 going into the bottom of the third inning, and they are the home team today.
Nice. Would you be getting text updates as we?
I very well could,
Okay.
but I will not be looking at them.
Okay. Lassie League, it's their all-star season as well. They hosted a very successful Pride of the Foothills tournament in June. I think there were over 90 teams in attendance. It was a huge tournament. They all participated in the district tournament. A few of them went on to the state tournament. That would be the 8U gold team, the 8U silver team, 10U gold team went on to the state tournament. And right now, there's something called the Pacific Coast Championships. And we have 2 teams playing in that tournament. The 12U silver team and the 14-year-old team are playing in that tournament right now. I think it's in Chula Vista. Let's see, anything else? Oh, basketball, registration for them begins on September 21st. That's for Glendora residents at the beginning. And then if space permits, later on, they'll open up to all. That is all I have to report today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mike?
Thank you. I can keep this short because the Transportation Division has a nice presentation to near the end of today's meeting. So I hope everyone is just enjoying summer and staying cool. And like I said, I'll leave it to the Transportation Division at the end to give a proper update for everybody.
Thank you. Brittany?
Thank you so much. Just a quick update for T4G. They're going on hiatus for the summer. They have been continuing with summer programming, which is available in our activity guide. Very fruitful, lots of great activities that they are supporting and being a part of. They're going to pick back up during the school year, so we can expect to see that happen. They have been doing a wonderful job supporting our recreation activities throughout the city, and that includes recently the cultural fair. Had to find the word. And I wanted to say concerts in the park, so 2 of those were crossing. But recently, the concerts in the park was another wonderful opportunity for the team. They started doing fresh squeezed lemonade, so if you see them out and about, you should definitely get some. It's refreshing and delicious. So very proud of them and looking forward to additional updates. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Eddie?
Yes, good evening. Just reporting on the Trails Council. They discussed, in the last meeting, they discussed finalization of the fall hikes. And then just a couple other items. And then just there's a 2 more hikes left in the summer hike. So that's July 25th at South Hills. And those are the morning hikes, and that's at 8 a.m. And then the last summer hike will be August 29th at 8 a.m. as well at Little Dalton Canyon. And there's 1 more evening hike left, and that's going to be August 11th, and that's a Tuesday at 7:15. And that's at Big Dalton. And that's it for my report from the council, the Trails Council.
Perfect, thank you. For myself, again, for the homeless part, I have not had an opportunity to connect with Debbie between our schedules. I believe that there really isn't a whole lot more to report than what they're presented in the last meeting. Although right now, with the summer heat, it might be a little bit more challenging for those that are on the streets. So I would imagine that our staff is probably working extra hard to make sure that anybody that they find, they can help out, whether it's with rehydration, shelter, things of that nature. So that's really all I have to report at the moment. So that takes care of our reports. At this time, I invite Recreation and Human Services Director Annie Warner to report.
Good evening. This evening, I just have a couple updates. Our Kid Palooza event that's normally held in June will be held Friday, August 28th from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. at Finkbeiner Park, and wristbands will be going on sale August 3rd. So again, that's going to be August 28th, and there'll be more of a social media post highlighting that new date. And then also our fall brochure will be dropped off at the post office August 4th, and online registration to our Glendora residents will begin August 18th. Walk-ins for everyone August 25th, and classes will begin Monday, August 31st. So, thank you.
Great, thank you. Okay, moving on to special items. Reorganization for the term 2026-2027. At this time, I invite City Clerk Specialist. That's okay.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, Lorena Cordova to report. I don't know why I was thinking of something different.
That's okay.
Yes.
All right, so at this time, I declare the offices for chair and vice chair vacant. Nominations are now in order for chair. Are there any nominations?
Nobody speaking up, then I will. I'll nominate Mike Katowski, our vice chair, to take the seat of chair.
Do we have any other nominations? Seeing
I'll
none?
second that.
No seconds needed. That's okay. All right, so seeing none, I automatically declare Michael as our chair. Congratulations. So now I'm going to turn the meeting over so that you can conduct the remainder.
Thank you. And next up, we'll have the Shining Star.
Actually, you need to do the vice chair.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Okay?
I'm off to a great start. I'm 0 for 1.
That's how it always is the first time.
Are there any, reset. Are there any nominations for vice chair?
I'd like to nominate Brittany Lewis-Parche.
And I will second that.
Are there any other nominations for vice chair? Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Commissioner
What
Portia.
an honor.
And with that, now we'll move on to the Shining Star presentation. So I'd like to invite Office Coordinator Megan Stone to report.
Good evening, Chair and Commissioners. It is truly an honor to recognize someone who embodies what it means to be a public servant. Tonight, I am proud to present the Shining Star Award to Amanda Sisha. If you've ever walked into our Recreation and Human Services office, chances are Amanda was the first person you met. She has a way of making everyone feel welcome, whether it's a resident with a simple question, someone who is frustrated and needs help finding answers, or a coworker who just needs an extra hand. She treats every person with kindness, patience, and genuine compassion. But what makes Amanda so special isn't just what she does, it's how she does it. She is someone you can always count on. When things get busy, she stays calm. When something unexpected comes up, she jumps in without hesitation. She doesn't look for recognition, she simply looks for ways to help. Whether she's organizing major department projects, supporting community events, learning new skills, or helping another division, she approaches every task with a positive attitude and a willingness to serve. She consistently goes above and beyond because she truly cares about our department, our coworkers, and the residents we serve. One of my favorite things about Amanda is that she sees challenges as opportunities to learn. She never says, "That's not my job." Instead, she asks, "How can I help?" That mindset has strengthened our department, improved communication across divisions, and created a workplace where people know they have someone they can rely on. Several of her coworkers described her as a reliable, organized, calm under pressure, and someone who brings positivity wherever she goes. I couldn't agree more. She truly is a light in our department. Her positivity is contagious, her work ethic is inspiring, and the care she shows every day leaves a lasting impression on everyone she meets. Amanda, thank you for everything you do. Your dedication doesn't go unnoticed, and our department and the city of Glendora is better because of you. Congratulations.
If I may say something really fast, I am all part of the Community Service Foundation, and I am the treasurer, and so I have to deal with Amanda on a regular basis, where there be emails coming to pick up checks, and I will tell you, she is so organized, she is on it, and it is amazing to me what you do amongst all the other things that they throw at you. So this is an award very well deserved. Yeah. No, you're supposed to switch it to the left.
I'm already on the edge.
Nice. family.
Pull down if you need to. You deserve it. Now we'll be seeing you in email. Hey, this is the different chair.
Thank you, Megan.
It's like it's going down. Yeah,
Did you try to lower it?
I did. Yeah, no. There's something. I don't know if there's a tilt, and I can figure that out. There's no. I got it really high. But it's, yeah.
Next up, we'll have item 4, the Glendora Community Services Foundation presentation. I'd like to invite Community Services Foundation board members Eric Frecking and Gary Boyer to report.
Perfect. You want some help?
I don't think Gary's here. Is that this way? No? That way? Left? There you go. Perfect. So Amanda, thank you very much for the PowerPoint presentation as well. Just to start. So I thank the chair and the commissioners, but Amanda is the rock solid. So thank you, chair. Thank you, commissioners. Thank you for giving us a chance to speak. Just to recap last year's Community Service Foundation for the audience and the public, we work with Parks and Recs to help fundraise, to help come up with additional funding to support youth sports, the trails, the teen center, and also the LaFetra Center with the seniors. So we try to come together and build projects based off the commission, what you're hearing from the general public, and what the department hears. It's going on my 6th year. I started when I was president over at Junior All-American Football, and it's been great. Mr. Gerber's on, and all of you have helped with several of our events. So recently, 2 years ago, we took over the Yellow Ribbon campaign in the city of Glendora. We're trying to minimize the downtime of those banners that potentially fall down due to winter or the winter winds. Everything's been going very well. I think all residents are represented that have requested to have a banner up. We encourage, if you see somebody or know somebody that hasn't applied, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to recognize them in the community. But you could also donate to replace any damaged banners as well. So that's one of the services we do. Another big one we do, over the last 2 years, we've given away about just under $8,000 to Glendora High School students, Charter Oak Unified School District students, as well as Whitcomb, part of graduation and their graduation process, roughly $250 to $500 based off of their application. And we generally push for community service as a little extra merit towards earning that funding. We also recently took over the main Glendora banner program that's in downtown Glendora. You can advertise on 4 sides. Feel free to reach out to us if you have events or anything taking place in the community that you'd like to be noticed or advertised. We'd welcome and accommodate you. One of our best fundraisers, and this actually started 5 years ago, I think. We're on to our 5th. And you're not reading that wrong. It is a 0.5K, minimal effort,
Grueling.
just a nice stroll, a lot of camaraderie, but the best nightlife and some beverages and good music. It's a great event for the community to get involved with. It's coming up here in September, so look for those advertisements coming up. But that's generated on average just over $10,000 a year, which has been a great program for us. Stuff the Bus, phenomenal undertaking we started probably 2 or 3 years ago. I think everybody's seen Stuff the Bus from ABC7 and the firefighters, so there's a lot of competition out during that time. We definitely have to thank Walmart, gives us a place out in front that we can actually park the bus, fill it, get some recognition, and get a lot of notification. We have had some very generous residents over-contribute as well, buying numerous bikes, spending thousands of dollars to support these children. Last year, it was roughly just about 280 kids, I think,
is what we supported within the 70 families. We try to stay within Glendora, but we do offer it up to outside residents that have kids in our unified school district. So the Birdies for Braves, that's part of supporting the Yellow Ribbon banners. We're down at our local golf course supporting the local business. We just do a putt around. It's a great afternoon event. It's a par 3, roughly 9 holes. We have a nice little dinner afterwards, good social event. So if you can attend that one was May 27th, coming up here next year. Some of the recent accomplishments, I think I kind of touched base on them. We did do a live stream. We tried to do a blood bank. I don't think we had a good turnout. I think we only had 3 or 4 people turn out to give their platelets or blood. I think we need to advertise a little bit more for that, but it is a fundraising method. It's good for all the local residents to potentially participate and help out. We also talked about the Stuff a Bus. Shoe That Fit. I don't know. Oh, that is part of Stuff the Bus. We are a nonprofit, so you do get a tax write-off of some sort. I gotta talk to your CPA about that one. Any questions?
I would love to. First and foremost, just want to say thank you so much for all of the work that you all do for these incredible missions that absolutely benefit our community. My children have been a part of the Stuff the Bus experience, and we can't tell you how fulfilling it is for them to see others in need be blessed with this opportunity. So thank you for that.
We want to thank your children for helping wrap the gifts. That's the chore we
That's the
all
best
do
part.
not like, but they do love wrapping the gifts, which is great.
And for those parents and families out there, it also becomes a very important lesson in how to wrap, how to see things for others instead of yourself, how incredibly difficult it is to see a sea full of toys that are not for you, for others, and still be able to say, I'm happy for someone else. That lesson is probably the best out of the whole experience. And then the standing in front of Walmart. Definitely advise anyone interested in jingling a bell and talking to people. It's very fun to get those reactions.
It was a great time.
So, to the question, how much does one need to donate in order to sponsor a banner? The reason I ask is I'm interested in maybe like a commissioner for that particular year sponsoring the banners. What would that cost?
Are you talking about the military banners
Yes.
or the banners
The
across Glendora?
military banner. So like, say I adopt a
I think it's
post.
right about $250 is our initial printing and graphics for that, right in that range. We can kind of look and see if there's a cost to it, but it's mostly, we use a third party to hang them, so it's that cost to go out and hang them.
Okay. And does it, and I've seen them, but does it list a sponsor on there as a possible?
We don't, not at this time. I don't even think our sponsorship is on there either. I mean, we just wanted to focus on the
course.
military person at the time, so
Okay,
we can talk through that.
cool. And then my second idea goes back to the blood bank that you mentioned. And surely, I know that social media gets talked about a lot as a way of communicating with our community. I'm a person not on social media, and I fear that there are many others who also are missing out on those important communications. Not saying that that's the method, but it made me think about sports and how Glendora is such a strong sport community. Perhaps having a blood bank at the same time as a game, especially those long baseball ones where you're sitting there anyway, could be a great way to get some just instant traffic to donate on
Got
the
it.
spot.
No, appreciate the recommendation.
And that's it. Thank you. Great job. I appreciate you.
Anybody? All good?
No, nothing specific, just you guys do great work, so thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Next, we'll be moving on to the consent calendar. Items on the consent calendar will be enacted by one motion without individual discussion unless a commissioner has requested it be removed for separate discussion. Does anyone wish to comment on items 5 or 6? Okay. If I have a motion to approve the may I have a motion to approve the consent calendar? I'll get there.
I'll motion.
I'll second it.
I have a motion by Vice Chair Louis Porcher, seconded by Commissioner Gerber. And we can now vote. Motion passes 5-0. On to some new business. What do we have here? We have the incoming presiding officer will read the title into the record. I'd like to invite Office Coordinator Megan Stone to report. Is that the title?
Yeah. Good evening again. I am here tonight to present to you the liaisons for the Recreation and Human Services Department committees. Pursuant to the Glendora Municipal Code 2.16.120, it may be necessary for a commission member to serve on a committee during the ensuing year. Commission will need to select a liaison for Youth Sports Council, Teens for Glendora, Trails Council, Homeless Liaison, as well as the Transportation Liaison. And at this time, I would like to call on the commission to discuss and reorganize the commission liaison appointments for the term July 2026 to June 2027, picking a primary for each committee as well as a backup. This concludes my report.
Thank you. I'll open it up to the commissioners for discussion. If anyone has any requests or anything else, now'll be time to let everyone know.
I'd love to continue with T4G. I'm getting the flow and would love to help support them in any way possible as a primary. And then as a backup, I am happy to support transportation or homelessness.
Is anyone else interested in T4G, or would we like to proceed with Commissioner, Vice Chair, I should say, sorry, Vice Chair Porcher?
Or, wait, what do I need to say?
I'm fine with where I'm at. I don't know if anybody has a desire to do something different, I'm fine with doing that as well.
That's my position. I'm fine with what I'm doing. If someone wants to switch, I'm happy to switch.
Same.
Okay, so let's do this one at a time. Youth Sports Council, who would be the main contact?
That'd be me.
And what a great
alternate?
job you've done.
Who would like to be
I'll
the
be the
alternate?
alternate, that's fine.
Okay, Teen for G. I did hear Louis Porcher as the first one, alternate.
Yeah.
Who would like to be the alternate for Teen for G?
You can take the alternate
Okay.
for T4G.
Okay, Trails. Who would like to be the first?
I would like to be the first.
And the alternate?
I'll keep that role.
Yeah, you'll have to remind me. I have no idea which one.
I know, right?
All right,
think we
so
do
then
either.
next one, the hopelessness.
That's me.
Liaison. Alternate? Who was the alternate last time?
Oh, it's either one of you guys because Steve, Mike, and I have
Oh.
already assigned, so one of you guys have to be either homeless or transportation
You took one, right?
Yeah, and I don't, yeah.
as the alternate.
Yeah. So I guess I switched my alternate to transportation,
Oh, okay.
Oh, you did, okay.
unless you want to keep it. It's up to you.
Yeah, so then then that would be you, Eddie.
And then transportation, who would like to be first?
I can stay on that if everyone's all right with that.
And I'll be the alternate.
Okay, so just to make sure we're all on the same page. Youth Sport Council, first I have Sally, alternate I have Gerber. Teen for G, I have Louis Porcher as first, alternate is Katowski. Trails Council, I have Kayumjian, and then Sally as the alternate. Homelessness Liaison, I have Gerber as first and alternate Kayumjian. Transportation Liaison, I have Katowski as the first one and Louis Porcher as the alternate. Is that correct?
Yes.
Perfect. So now you can call for a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion by Commissioner Commusion, a second by Commissioner Sally. I believe we can now vote. And it passes 5-0. All right, item number 8 is our transportation update for the day. I'd like to invite Senior Management Analyst Kelsey Fay to report.
Good evening, Chair and Commissioners. Tonight, I'll be providing an update on the city's transportation division and the work completed over the past several months. So our transportation division oversees a wide range of mobility services for the community. This includes Dial-A-Ride, tap card services, which includes reduced fare tap applications, loading tap cards, and then all of our shuttle services. We also provide travel training, transit options workshops, and support community events that promote active transportation. Dial-A-Ride continues to provide a curb-to-curb service for seniors and persons with disabilities. This year, we've had 125 new registrants just in 2026, which shows continued demand for this program. We've also been doing outreach presentations to increase awareness. This year, we've presented at Glendora Community Coordinating Council, the Glendora Ministerial Association, LaFetra Center Lunch Program, and the annual Health and Wellness Fair. TAP continues to be an important part of our transit system. TAP cards are accepted on Glendora Transit, Metro, and Foothill Transit locally, giving riders one card that works across all 3 systems. To make purchasing easier, tap cards are not only available at our main office now, but also at the city clerk's office and the teen center. We also process reduced fare tap applications for seniors, persons with disabilities, students, and life program participants. This includes helping them complete an application, taking their photo, and mailing the packet on their behalf. Once processed, the rider receives their reduced fare card directly in the mail. So we have a couple of different shuttle services and recent changes. So we have our community shuttle that launched June 6th, and it runs every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. We did install signage on bus stops along the route to increase visibility for this shuttle. We have a morning shuttle that operates Monday through Friday during the school year, and mostly students take that shuttle. We have an A-Line shuttle that operates Monday through Friday during commuter hours. When the Glendora A-Line station opened in September of 2025, we did combine 2 low ridership routes into one, and now it connects directly to the new station. And then lastly, we have our midday shuttle. We operate 3 lines, the red, the green, and the orange during the school year. We recently changed a couple of the lines based on ridership and based on resident requests. We modified one to go over by the Lone Hill Shopping Center for kids that live over there. And we are planning next month to go to the middle schools and the high schools to promote all of these shuttle lines and tell incoming 6th graders that these are available for them. Many of you probably have seen our cute little shuttle buses going around town. We launched these with the community shuttle on June 6th. They are called Carson E-Jess. They're electric minibuses. They're 19 feet, zero-emission vehicles. So with these additions, we expanded our electric fleet from 2 to 5 buses. And an update on the short-range transit plan. So we're continuing to implement, and it guides our service design, fleet transition, and long-term improvements. So completed items include acquisition of the 3 new vehicles, launch of the community shuttle, and a redesign and distribution of the Dial-A-Ride information booklets. Next steps include bus stop amenity upgrades. So the consultant that was hired for the short-range transit plan provided us a full inventory of all bus stops in the city and what amenities they have, and then their recommendations for possibly moving amenities that we already have to different stops that have higher ridership, so that those are better used. And there's also some stops in the city where Foothill Transit has removed that line and we still have amenities there, so just kind of redirecting those to stops that don't have any amenities. So we'll be working with Public Works on a phased plan for replacements and upgrades for bus stop amenities. Marketing and communication will continue outreach to increase awareness and ridership for both Dial-A-Ride and our shuttle services. And then ongoing service evaluation. So we're continually reviewing all the shuttle routes to identify opportunities for improvement, evaluating ridership trends, and determining whether additional vehicles may be needed in the future. One thing we've been doing is transit options workshops. So these are travel training programs to help residents feel confident using public transit. This year's workshops included going to Float Fest, Little Tokyo, the Museum of Contemporary Art, and then upcoming in October is Olvera Street. So it includes a travel training presentation, guided A-line travel, tap cards, and then a Go Glendora shuttle connection. And these are all presented by our shining star, Amanda Sisha. And then Bike Month. In May, we celebrate Bike Month with 2 events this year. We had Bike to Work Day on May 15th, and we hosted a morning pit stop with pastries and coffee. Several staff members either biked or walked to work and came and grabbed stuff. And then we also had the community bike ride on May 16th in partnership with Glendora Mountain Bike Club and InCycle. We had over 100 participants on a 3-mile family-friendly ride with music, competitions, and games. We received great feedback and are exploring options for another ride later this year. And again, our shining star, Amanda Sisha, ran both of those events. And then our transit operations contract. So our longstanding contract with Transportation Concepts ended on June 30th, 2026. They've served as Glendora's transportation operator since 2009. We released an RFP on March 19th, which closed on April 16th, and received 2 proposals. We held interviews with both companies on May 12th, and after evaluating qualifications, experience, and operational capacity, staff recommended to council on Tuesday, July 14th, to award the transit operations and maintenance contract to Transportation Concepts once again. The City Council did vote to award the contract, and the new contract now will expire on June 30th, 2031. There are 2 optional 2-year extensions, so if both of those extensions are exercised, the contract will expire in 2035. And that concludes my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions from the commission?
That was great. Thank you. Always fun.
I will say I do like seeing I think you used the word cute, the buses. I like seeing them
They
around
are
the town.
very cute.
Yeah, no, they are cute. I'll give you that. But they're like sleek and modern. I don't know. I just like, it makes me happy to see them when I'm driving around. So
That's the effect we hope for.
good. It's working. It's working.
How many do we have of those? 3?
3, yes.
You know it's working when my 21-year-old texts me a picture of it and goes, "What is this and where did they come from?"
Great.
So those are definitely become a hit in the town, and I think it obviously means that ridership might be increasing because of the flexibility, the comfortability of them. Hopefully that is the case. Do we see, I think you mentioned that ridership is increasing again. Is that something that we're seeing on a regular basis, that people are starting to, maybe with the price of gas, tend to take more public transportation?
So ridership for Dial-A-Ride, we are getting a lot of registrants. The community shuttle specifically, the first weekend we had, I believe it was 34 people ride. The next couple of weekends was very modest, but this past weekend we had 24. So we're hoping it's starting to gain some traction and get more people out there and ride it. Our midday shuttle that picks up after school, that is our highest ridership. So that has been steadily increasing.
Oh, that's good. The community bike ride, was that our first go-around with that? That community 3-mile easy ride, or was that used to be a part of
Yeah.
Earth Day?
No, well, Earth Day did used to have a bike ride as well, but The transportation division, before we took it over, used to also do a community bike ride. We just weren't involved in it. So now that we took over transportation, we've taken it over.
Did we see a larger participation because we took over it and we advertised it and made it work?
I think there was a lot more people this year, yeah.
Of course, when you put the right touches on it, it, definitely makes it. So that's great. That's all I had. Thank you, as usual. Great job.
Thank you.
Glendora Mountain Biking Club is behind that, right? They help a lot with that?
They did, yes.
Yeah, they're great. Just had a question. The tap card, now that you're able to utilize it in three different services, when did that come about? When did that get combined? Like-
For a while, like ever since we got the tap card machines, it's been a long time. Like at least 5 years, we've had tap card machines.
No,
in
but I
our-
mean, you're using it on Glendora, at Glendora Transportation
Mm-hmm.
versus Metro and Foothill Transit. Has that always been combined, or is that a new thing?
All of those systems have been using them. Metro and Foothill Transit have been using them longer than we have.
right.
And then probably 5 or 6 years ago, maybe even a little bit longer,
Right.
our predecessor got the tap machines, did the contract with TAP, so that it would be easier for our riders to go between the different systems.
Yeah, that's great. I didn't
Yeah.
realize we did that. So, yeah, thank you.
Of course.
Sorry, I did have two questions. You mentioned the Lone Hill Shopping Center being one of the destinations, and I got excited about that.
Yeah.
I know it's one of the teen hotspots. And new and up and coming is a hangout at the farmer's market. This summer, it is going to be probably the talk of the town, how this really opened up that opportunity for not only our teens, but for all ages. So is there already a pickup drop-off schedule for those that want to go to the farmer's market that are teens?
There is a stop right there on the corner. We call it the downtown library stop. However, that shuttle really only runs like right after school. So the last shuttle probably stops there at like 3:20. So they would be waiting around quite a while, which maybe they don't mind, but yeah, they could take it down there.
Okay. I'm thinking safe travel leaving is another
Oh.
option, but it doesn't sound like
Yeah,
that'll line up.
it doesn't run that late, yeah.
Okay. And then lastly, because you talked about the tap cards and it being a part of the city, is there a cost that the city incurs by being a participant in the tap community?
No. So basically, people pay us for the tap, like whatever they're loading, the stored value or the passes, and then we pay them. So it's just a pass through, basically.
Cool. Thank you.
Of course.
Sorry. Thank you.
Just a couple questions. I was able to tune in with July 14th a couple nights ago for your presentation at the end of a pretty long city council meeting. But you had Councilmember Thompson asked a great question, something I didn't even know. For anyone who missed the council meeting, could you explain how the transportation and the stuff is funded?
Yes. So we're funded through Prop A, which is a 50-cent sales tax, and we get a local return of that. So with that local return, the funds are restricted, and we can only use it for transportation-based purchases. So we can use it for dial-a-ride shuttle services, we can use it for bus stop amenity improvements, but we can't use it for streets, roads, parks, anything else. So if we don't use that money for these services, then we don't end up getting the money.
It was really interesting to hear the answer to that at that time. And also with others, with some of the questions, obviously ridership is going to continue to come up. And in the summer, it does go down, as we talked about at some of our meetings. But hopefully, like you said, with school starting, it'll kick back up. One idea, I know you mentioned going to the middle schools. There's a school board meeting, I think next week. It might be worth maybe just chiming in and letting them know that this is an option. I know attention to the school board meetings. I don't know if they get as many viewers as us, but I'm sure some people watch that. It might be an opportunity to get it out.
Yeah, that's good.
On the tap card, Metro just went to tap your debit and credit card. And I was curious if that was in our plans or our vendors' plans. Not tomorrow, but
Yeah, it is. They've let us know, And basically, we just need to schedule an update with them. They've sent us the stickers to put on our machines and everything. So they just need to send an update to all of our machines to allow for that to happen. But we are currently working on them with that.
That's awesome. As someone who doesn't ride daily for work, I've taken a couple trips this summer and just being able to tap, especially to tap my kids in as well, it makes it incredibly easy and you don't have to like worry about it as much. And it's been, yeah, you can, it was tapping debit or credit and you can tap,
I think Apple Pay they take.
that's
Yeah.
right. Now they can do Apple Pay on it too. It's just, it eliminates a lot of the friction of having to like, oh, do I have this card or do I need to buy it? And so hopefully that is also something in the future that can help with ridership. And then the only other request I have going into kind of the next year is just on the reports. As we kind of hit the 6 and 9 and 12 month benchmarks, if we could just include like year over year and month over month stats in it. Obviously, we know, like I said, it's summer. There's not as many kids riding the bus. Like we can factor that in subjectively, but seeing it objectively, like, oh, this June versus last June, this December versus last December, I think would be really useful.
Yeah.
Especially for council. They did have a lot of questions last night about
Yeah.
ridership and cost, which they should, but I think it would be helpful for everybody as well. But that's all my questions for today. So thank you for a busy week of transportation updates.
Thank you.
Any other questions before? Awesome. And there's a motion to receive and file? All right, do we have a motion to receive and file?
Sure, I'll move to accept the report.
I'll second it.
We have a motion by Commissioner Sally, seconded by Commissioner Gerber. If you'd like to vote. And it was 5 yeas and 0 nays. Next, we'll have a dirt camp update, and I'd like to invite Recreation Coordinator Jasmine Rosa to report.
Let me do this real quick. Hi, good evening, Chair and Commissioners. I am going to be talking about Dirt Camp, the history, and updates that we've been doing as well. So for the Dirt Camp history, this summer, the Glendora's Dirt Camp is actually celebrating its 75-year anniversary, marking its generations of youth established essentially in 1951. It was originally known as Day Camp, and the program then later changed the name to Dirt Camp. Then it had changed to Camp Kahula, and then before returning to the actual Dirt Camp name in 2022. So throughout its history, the program remained rooted in providing meaningful outdoor recreation, environmental education, and opportunities for youth to build confidence, friendships, and lifelong memories in Big Dalton Canyon Wilderness area. So for 75 years, Dirt Camp has remained one of the city's signature summer programs, offering traditions such as hiking, archery, arts and crafts, camp songs, skits, and exploration of the very famous Frog Pond. And as the program celebrates the milestone, staff recognize the generations of campers, families, counselors in training, staff who have contributed to the long-lasting success and will continue to strengthen the program for future generations. Next, so with that, we did have to do some changes, and one of those things included the Dirt Camp registration. So for Dirt Camp registration, we transitioned to an in-person process, which was taking place on Saturday, April 25th at the Crowther Teen and Family Center. So essentially, once they arrived, they were able to wait in line very early in the morning that day. They received a registration packet, which contained medical forms, emergency contact information, authorized pickup forms, and acknowledgments of our newly implemented behavioral policy, our cell phone policy, and parent code of conduct. And after that day as well, we had a total of 482 camp spaces that were filled upon the completion of the day. So there were 13 stations that we utilized for efficient and just organized registration process for minimal wait times. And those who are unable to attend the one-day registration have been able to register in person still to this day. And then for fees, the registration fee for 2026 was $150 per camper. And beginning next year, the fee structure will be updated to $150 for Glendora residents and $200 for non-residents. In addition to some of the other changes we have, there are safety enhancements that we have implemented to further just enhance the safety for campers, counselors in trainings, and staff throughout the summer. One of them being the transportation safety. So previously, the buses would just pick up the campers over at the Transit Plaza, and then from there, take them to the Big Dalton Canyon Road. They would have other various routes afterwards that they will go on and do, and then return back to Big Dalton and then drop them off at the Transit Plaza. So now the buses essentially pick up the campers at the Transit Plaza and they remain on site all day in the event of an emergency. They're ready to go and the campers can essentially load the bus. The staff check in with the buses daily as well. There's a walkie, so they check in with them and let them know our expectations. In addition to that, we also have authorized pickup procedures. So during registration, when they were filling out a lot of the forms, one of them included authorized pickups. So essentially with that, they had to make sure that any person that would pick up their child, they are providing the authorization. Staff would essentially check the authorized pickup person, make sure they're on the list, check their IDs, and then they would sign them out. Another policy, and probably one of my favorite ones, is the cell phone policy. Just with camp evolving and new generations evolving, this was something that we had to really implement. So this is implemented for campers, CITs, and staff during programming hours. And this is just to promote essentially camper engagement, involvement, minimizes a lot of distractions, and allows them to just focus on their activities and to just be a kid during the camp hours. The next one is behavioral policy. So this has also been implemented for campers and for CITs. Staff supervise groups approximately 10 to 12 campers and utilize the policy when behavioral concerns arise. If a camper receives a strike, the director would immediately contact the parent or guardian and discuss the incident and review the expectations with the parent. Participants who accumulate 3 behavioral strikes are subjected to dismissal of the program, and that is, again, just to ensure the safety for the participants. Now, for Friday recreation activities, in the years past, campers were able to go to the Glendora High School pool to swim on Fridays. But due to temporary closure for pool for repairs, alternative Friday activities have been provided for campers. That includes different vendors such as tide pool encounters, SoCal Reptiles, the San Gabriel Valley Mosquito and Vector Control District, the Glendora Fire Department, Station 151, Dinosaurs Rock, Glendora Police Department, and the U.S. Forest Service. And with them being located there as well, they're able to engage in a lot of other activities that they can't necessarily do up at camp because there's flat land. So that includes capture the flag, dodgeball, water games, just other things that they can actually do with a different type of environment. So for the next program that we have, a new program that we have is the CIT Readiness Program. The CIT Readiness Program is a new offering designed for students entering 7th through 8th graders who are now not eligible for the DIRT Camp or CIT program. This program is offered 3 times for one individual week from 4 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. at the Big Dalton Wilderness area. This would be for $70 per week, and this is essentially an opportunity for those to know the expectations before becoming a CIT, expecting them how not only to participate in the different games, they could also go on a little bit more strenuous hikes that they would not be able to if they were a camper. It is staff-led by other staff that have gone up to camp, and they can do other crafts. And each day there are lesson plans where they go over and tackle essentially the different expectations for them as well. And then that feeds to the counselors in training program. So then our CIT program is then the other leadership program that essentially assists the counselors. They are 9th through 12th graders, and they essentially go through the whole application process. They submit an application, they sign all of our acknowledgements indicating that they are aware of our cell phone policy and our behavioral policy. And all applicants are then going through an interview process. So it's modeled just like a simple generic job to get them ready for their next steps following. So then from there, they also are discussed with the DIRT Camp director. They then are able to go over the expectations, safety procedures, policy, games, songs, and other engagement techniques, because there is a difference from being a camper to then being a CIT. And from there, they're able to essentially volunteer up to 2 weeks. This is something that we also had implemented. And this is just so then, of course, everyone loves DIRT Camp and they want to be a part of it every single week. But there is such thing as burnout. And so we do make sure that CITs are only allotted 2 weeks. And if they are requesting additional weeks, they are getting reviews each week, and they have to make sure they are meeting our expectations, and they have to get specific approval by our DIRT Camp director in order for them to get any other additional weeks. And then that concludes my presentation. I'll be happy to take any questions.
Thank you for the detailed report. Any questions from commissioners?
Just real quick, how was the no cell phone policy received?
It was actually well received. I didn't really hear anyone, I understand some parents might be concerned because they want to have
Right,
accessibility to their campers. But during parent night, during all of our parent emails, most of them are relatively very receptive. We have had some campers that did have their cell phone just there, but they weren't necessarily utilizing it at all. But luckily, it was actually very well received.
And the CIT readiness program, is this the first year for it?
Yes, it is the first year. Since we had to cut off the different grades requirements are entering 2nd through 6th grade. So previously with that change, as a CIT, they were in that range where they were from a camper to a CIT, and they were a little too close in that grade. So since we made that cutoff, we also still wanted to provide essentially programming for those that have reached the cutoff from now the 9th grade for a CIT.
How was
So,
participation?
it's relatively pretty well. The first week we had approximately 14 registrants. The second week it was 8, and I think the last one we're at about like the 7 as well. So I think just slowly we are able to get those enrolled.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great presentation, and DIRT Camp I think camp should be a requirement for every youth before college. So that's just something I believe. Yeah, absolutely. And even sleepaway, that's like the thing. You don't know what you forgot until you're responsible for bringing it up at camp. All right, so my question, you talked about moving the registration to in-person. What challenge were you solving by doing that?
We were essentially trying to we were having a couple of issues. We were having, first, when it came to registration, it literally sold out in like 5-10 minutes. So it kind of was just the luck of the draw. So it also allowed just people to go and register. Everyone would have the opportunity, and it was servicing the Glendora residents with that, because with our system, there were some people that were unfortunately lying about multiple things. They were lying about their camper's age. And again, that's also why we transitioned to grade, because we were wanting to make sure that they were specifically in the grades that we were looking for. So not only about the grade or age were they were lying about being a Glendora resident. So I think because of that push and them wanting to register, people were just willing to put down whatever they wanted to put down and enroll. So we were just really trying to make it fair and equal for everybody, and also servicing the Glendora community as well. So I think we achieved that goal for it.
Nice. And it sounds like you had good manpower, so that
Yes, we
definitely
did.
aided in that number getting through. I noticed you talked about having the campers that have behavioral challenges. First of all, when you said parent contract behavior, I was like, yes, because parents can be the ones. It's not the kids, it can be the parents.
Yeah.
But I see you clarified it was for the kids. But
Yeah.
you mentioned.
It does also include the parent one as
behavior.
well. Just expectations of,
Yes.
parent not approaching child, having those things. So that is in our packet as well.
My question was, you mentioned about the strike policy, and I could see how beneficial it is to communicate those challenges to parents. I did cringe a little bit with the Title III strikes, with its comparative to the, justice system. So I would highly recommend maybe thinking of a different terminology. Just because contextually, for those who don't know, 3 strikes, you're locked up for life. And so to compare that to camp, I don't think I would put the two together. But that was all that I had. So thank you.
Thank you.
No questions, but I just love the program. You guys do great. I sent my grandkids to there this year. They had a great time. Shout out to Skittles, applesauce, Buffalo,
Yes.
and Bison.
All the best.
And I thought you guys did a great job with the parent orientation meeting. I liked how you had each of the young counselors participate and were responsible for presenting a section of the whole program. And I think that gave a lot of the parents confidence seeing these young people stand up and take charge. So well done.
Thank
done.
you.
Yeah, I have, having had kids go through this program from years ago, the evolvement of what you guys, how it's evolved in terms of the CIT, the preparedness, the changes that you've made now in person versus online. I know everybody would stay up until midnight and then they would try and click and get as many, and then some people would not, and it was chaos, so to speak. I think that what you guys have done has been really, really amazing to really make it what it should be and make it for those in the community that it's intended for. And I think we also offer scholarships, I think, too, for those families that potentially can't afford it.
Yes, it's campership. So we
Right.
do offer it. We're able to provide it for 1 week. They go through the approval process where they submit their documentation, and then we let them know, and they provide us which weeks they're interested in, and we let them know which weeks they're accepted in for.
Do you have many of those requests, or?
We actually had a lot of them come in the week prior to the in-person registration. I think some people were just wanting to just make sure they got their spot because that's what they were so used to. But currently, right now, the number that we had, I believe it's 19. So each week we do allot 5 spots out of our participants of 100 just to provide that opportunity. For some weeks or most of the weeks, we actually still have availability when it comes to, again, we just with the registration, but we are able to provide that for the camperships. They would just submit their application, and then we go through the approval process for them to receive it.
And where do those funds come from? Through your budgeted?
It comes to Glendora Coordinating Council. So yes, they are essentially who we work with. Alma and I, we both sit, we go to the meetings, and we discuss and we update them as well when it comes to our numbers of how many have been registered, and they essentially provide the funding for that.
Perfect, because the Community Service Foundation is now part of that council.
Yes,
And
they
so
are.
I would be interested to know how we can participate and fund that, because that's money that we have, and that's where it should be earmarked for. So that's where I was asking to be part of that. No, that's great. The one comment that I have is I love the pictures. Was that a picture of John when he was, it looks like it's from the 70s or the 80s if you go back.
Dick Sweeney.
But I love that you can tell the time frame in that picture. So whoever found that picture, that was great.
Dick Sweeney was kind enough to share all of his slides. He was a camper in 1958, he said. So he's the
Is he one
only
of them?
resident that I'm aware of that would have photo, and he's so organized. He had all these slides, so he shared them with us, and yeah, they're great. I think the oldest one we have is from 1959.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I like that. great job, and again, you guys do amazing work up there for the kids in the community, so thank you.
Thank you.
Actually, I have a couple more, if I may. Campership or the scholarship, or
Yes.
Is there a need for more, or was there anybody turned away this year?
There actually wasn't anyone turned away. When it came to communication for that, we just want to make sure that when it comes to our requirements, it's all laid out on our application when it comes to their low, medium income. And we just ask for verification. And then from there, we just essentially move forward within the process.
So everybody that applied got
Yes,
served?
yes. Everyone who applied had got served. There might have been additional communication just to make sure we're getting the appropriate documents, but for the most part, everyone, has been accepted.
And then percentage of Glendora residents, what's,
It's only for Glendora residents.
no, not the
Oh,
campership,
sorry.
but going to another topic, is, in total, is it mostly, and what's the percentage of Glendora or what's the percentage of non-Glendora residents?
We could
Out of
run
10.
those numbers to give you exact, but I could tell you it's a lot less than the
Yeah.
previous years.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Oh, yes, because that is why in our admin staff, Megan spearheaded kind of like a campaign or kind of working with our ActiveNet system, because people were creating new accounts online, and ActiveNet is not smart enough to identify people's home addresses. So when I was looking it up, people were utilizing legends or fake addresses as their home, or just fictitious addresses, and that's how they were registering. And also in regards to the grades, our staff was having many challenges over the last couple of years. And when we divide up the kids in their age groups and they're with their peers in their groups, we were having kindergartners. And we've always advertised that you had to be in completed first grade, but we also had ages and said you were 6 through 12. Well, that's confusing to people, and they would choose just not to read the have completed first grade. So I have looked over the rosters this year, and there's probably about 4 to 5 6-year-olds, and they're like 6 years, like 8 months. 6 years, not they really did complete first grade, and there's a big difference. The
could tell.
stamina to stay at the camp and do the hikes and do the crafts and do those things. So we found the older groups were getting upset because the younger kids couldn't do things. And so for programming purposes, it was challenging for the staff. And so our admin staff have been able to lock in when you register online, you can't then complete your registration. Amanda and Kelsey and Megan, then are able to review the accounts, and we will find where people are being dishonest still, and we correct them, and then they are in our system correctly, or people then would have 8 accounts, and kids would have multiple birth years, and they would make it work for whatever class they wanted to take. So it's a way for us to organize our roles, know who we have. It's a liability issue, and luckily we are having a very successful year up at camp, a lot less behavioral issues. So there's a lot of reasons why we did it.
So it was a big success.
It was a big success, and change is hard, and I have a huge shout out to Alma and Jasmine. Change is hard, and people don't take it well, and I have let people know that their dirt camp has had many iterations, and some of them we're so upset, but they have only done dirt camp maybe a couple years, and they don't even remember we used to do a parent night. And they're like, oh, and it's like, yeah, on Thursdays you used to show up at 1 o'clock and stay until the evening. And that was starting to not go well, and we were having issues. And so we took a survey and made a decision. It was in the best interest to do Monday through Friday, all from 10 to 4 p.m. So camp has been changing, and it will continue to change. And that's okay. It's still, the premise of it is the same, but change is hard, and Alma and Jasmine have done a fantastic job this summer making a lot of changes, and we're getting a lot of positive feedback, and the staff has been incredible. Up at camp, and they are reporting back to us. It's like night and day from last summer. So that's
great.
we're very happy.
Great work. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can I add to your? Just want to add to your question about the funding and were there any needs? Can't help but to see there's a possible partnering between those that have asked for support in any programs that we have. That could be connected with the Community Services Foundation, especially in the sense of them being put on the list for the Stuff the Bus they could also be, if they're expressing a need then, won't they still have the same need in December? Maybe they can be your automatic people that not only are you going to get this, but we're going to put your name in the running or whatever for a community service experience or something like that. So just sharing data, right? Utilizing data, to your point, analytics is everything. So kudos to you guys for catching that. But yeah, that's a possible partnership. So thank you. Cool stuff.
Sorry, one more question. By shifting to the in-person registration, did that impact, say, did you still sell out? Or did, by doing that, were there now, do we not have as many?
We don't. On average, we're averaging about 70 to 80 participants for the week. I think there was only week 3, the Olympics week, where we were sold out. So we still have space, but again, I just think it's a combination of parents not scarcity registering their participants because they're then focusing on the weeks that they want to register them for, if it's 1 to 2. And in the years past, there were a lot of kids that were there all 8 weeks, and that's also a contribution to the behavioral issues because they're over it by probably week 3 or 4. It's a hot summer. They're doing, some similar things. We do change it up, but there's still only so much. So we still have space, and I know a lot of people still reach out saying, I want to still register. Is there even any space? I'm like, there's plenty. Please register. Please tell your friends to register. But yes. And after that first day, once again, we did have 482 spots filled, which I think was still promising. It's just a matter of then some people then realizing, oh, there's still an opportunity to register. It's not just a one day, one all, and that's the only way to register.
Okay.
Yeah, so Dirt Camp has always had 80 campers per week. And the reason, beginning in 21 or 22, we bumped it up to 100 because there would be 40, 50 people on a waiting list. So we kept the same level of staffing and we were able to absorb 20 more campers. I personally, I've looked at both the last 2 weeks. We have 80 and 81 signed up. So we're meeting our 80. I think there was 1 week we had 75.
Yes.
But to me, it's kind of telling because one, we don't know how many of the people were really underage, and we weren't getting accurate information for people to register. And then we did run into so many people who missed the first day of in-person registration, and then we're like, we missed it, we can't go. And we're like, no, actually there's room. And they're like, what? So there shouldn't be that like scarcity, and I think once we do this, it'll give opportunity for people to register. Another thing was our online registration opened on a Tuesday morning at, I believe, 8 a.m. If you're a working parent, that's challenging. So I had a couple parents speak to me on that Saturday who said, I'm a teacher, and we were in Glendora, and this is the first time I could register my kids because I don't have anybody else who can log on to register. I've never been able to it. So that made me happy that we are able to reach people who haven't otherwise been able to register. And so they're still, like she said, they're still available the last 2 weeks. But I think we're actually getting really like who's coming and who should be coming. And again, behavioral issues and everything has gotten better.
Sounds like quantity is not as good as the quality, which we're getting the quality now. And I'm sure your staff is enjoying that because now they get to actually be counselors, not babysitters.
Yes.
So,
Correct.
great job.
Thank you.
Just a few more. I'll make it quick, though. First, kudos on keeping costs down. That's a great deal, and it's incredible you've been able to do that. Also, kudos for quickly adopting the cell phone policy. I'm sure you kind of saw it going through the school districts, and it feels like it fell on your lap, and you picked it up, and it sounds like it's gone great. And also the changes that you've made to preserve the institution, so to speak. It's awesome to hear that the changes worked. And that, yeah, it's hard, but sometimes it's worth it, and sometimes you have to make tough decisions. And that's my segue to any changes to registration next year based on what you learned this year? Or is it, we did it right the first year, we're going to keep doing it just like that? Because that would be awesome, too.
I think so. I feel, honestly, it was anticipation beforehand. It was a little hard because we were having parents say, I'm going to be there at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. And we didn't know what that would look like. But I feel more confident after that day that we can definitively tell parents, you don't have to be there at 4 a.m. with your chairs out waiting in line. There's plenty of opportunities. So I think that's what I essentially feel like we can easily tell people, that there's easier opportunity for everyone. Everything else, when it came to the process, having everything out in advance, having the staff trained in advance, I think everything that we did, we would do again. So.
That's great to hear. You mentioned the CIT program and the volunteer program for the high school kids before they could be counselors. Just
CIT,
for the
right.
community, what does a counselor position pay if there's a kid off to college and he wants a summer job or?
It's minimum wage, so I believe it's 16.
Like 16.
Okay. And then the last thing, I know facilities have been a big conversation among everyone. Are there any facilities up there? I know there's facilities up there, but are any specific to Dirt Camp that would go on your wish list to present to council? I don't know.
We do
whenever
have
the
an
next
item on
conversation.
there. Our Dirt Camp cabin was recently renovated. Our Public Works facilities team did a fantastic job. It had a drop ceiling that had a lot of probably things up there, and they took it down, did all new lighting, a new drop ceiling, sealed a lot of like openings. We really only utilized that building during the 8 weeks during the summer and the 1 week during spring break. We are considering opening it up more and trying to do other kind of programming up there. But the need is the restrooms. So the restrooms have not been in working order that are just to the south of that cabin. And so we have been having to bring in portable trailers. And they're expensive, but we need to provide restrooms. Then we also have the Girl Scout cabin that is across the bridge that was donated to us. We call it the Girl Scout cabin because it was donated to us by the Girl Scouts. It has a septic tank that is not in functioning order, and that cabin has been vacant for many years and needs to be addressed. So whether it's torn down or modified, it looks nice on the outside, but the inside needs a lot of work. So, but as far as Dirt Camp, the main concern is the restrooms.
Sounds like a great place to prioritize it, just given the success of the program. Is there anything else before? Oh,
One tidbit, what was the earliest show on registration day?
The earliest
The
show.
earliest that anybody showed up?
Oh, I think I heard someone say like 5:30
Oh, yeah.
in the morning, something like that. But it was like.
And you opened at
5.
8?
Yeah, we opened.
We
at
got
8.
there at 6:45 and there was at least already 20 people in line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I got there at 7:30, and I was handed registration number 103.
Oh, all right.
So, yeah, there were plenty of people there.
As somebody who had to stand in line at Williams to get childcare like 5 years ago, you could blame it on them. There's like PTSD from that. So I was there at 7:30 too. Okay, with that, are we good? This was very, very in depth. All right, I'd like to request oh, thank you. It's okay. And with that, I'd like to request a motion to, is this just a receive and file? Motion to receive and file, please.
Motion to receive?
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Communion and a second from Vice Chair Liz Porche. We can vote. Motion passes. And with that, we'll move on to our closing comments. Anything else to add this evening?
Can start. First and foremost, I just want to commend Human Recreation Services for some incredible events that have happened over this last few months, starting, and not in this order, but the Culture Fest was very successful, in my opinion. My family participated. I absolutely love seeing the different cultural food represented, as well as the entertainment. It was a beautiful day. I just commend everyone. Each year it just gets better and better, and this year food was amazing. I want to say that it was great to participate in the Salute to Our Veterans, volunteer recognition, concerts in the park have been wonderful. Recently did the 80s versus the 90s, and those jams were jamming. Farmers Market is probably the highlight of the year. I happened upon it by accident. I just want to go back to the whole social media being the main point of communication. I'm not on social. So it happened to be the same day that our children were invited to a soccer meetup with their team. And when I just happened to go pick her up early, I'm like, what is this blockage? What is happening? And you probably said it. You probably talked about it. But for whatever reason, I'm like, what is this farmer's market? So I later learned from other friends there that this is a weekly thing. And so I wonder if there are other Glendora residents that don't know the frequency, the need, or the meet. But it is worth the trip. And I'm seeing more and more people come. It's on my children's weekly agenda, and they have meetups with their friends there. So kudos, very well organized and amazing. I did reach out to Lorena this past 2 weeks to ask a question that stemmed from me walking home from Glendora High. So oftentimes I ask my daughter to start walking towards home, and then I'll pick them up. But there are quite a few students that are traveling or commuting on that main street. And in doing that walking myself, which never dawned on me as much as it did then, the roads are very disrupted on a particular side of the street, one or the other, and natural tree growth and things like that. So I was thankful to actually have a follow-up call with Annie, who talked through some options and ways that residents can alert a particular group, Parks and Rec, about these type of challenges and where that would properly be directed. So I want to leave that there. I know that Annie, you'll be talking about it, or the team will talk about it, but it was a recommendation because I was like, I have something to add to the meeting. Let's add this to the agenda. And so come to find out, it's not necessarily a responsibility of the community, but it is something that I think you all should know about and how to go about reporting it.
Sure, after our conversation, I followed up with our communications team, and they let me know IT is working on our city app, and I shared it with you. It's called My Civic Services. They have not done a formal campaign and brought it to everyone's attention because they're looking at branding it. And so they don't want to confuse people. So they're looking at branding it so people can identify ours more easier. And when that happens, there will be a huge marketing campaign, but I'm happy to meet with any of you guys and show you how the app, where it's at and how to do it. It's amazing. We've been implementing it within our own department. It allows you to, whether it's public works, water, parks, an issue at a playground, a leaky sprinkler, a crack in a sidewalk, and it's GPS, it will pin it so they know exactly where it's located. And you can give a description. Once you send it off, then it's notified that you have sent the communication off, and then they will follow up and tell you it's been completed or not completed, and kind of like steps along the way. So it's called My Civic Services, and then it has it looks like a 311, and then you would have to type in Glendora. So it's available, but that's why it's not been more broadly communicated out. But that is forthcoming. They're just waiting on our IT department, and then they will do that. And then in regards to the farmers market, we'd love to take credit for it, but that is not us. That is Joe Cena and the chamber. They are facilitating that.
It's actually put on by the bid.
Oh, the bid, sorry,
that's
the Business Improvement District. So they are the ones who are putting on the farmers market and doing their own marketing and getting it out there, so.
How long is it supposed to go for?
Until October.
Cool. Thank you. I think, what is this month? Okay. July. Yeah, July, right? School's getting ready to start. So, that's on the horizon. We have less than a month until school starts. I don't know how this happens, but we go from the school year is ending to school year is starting. And whatever happened in between, I think we're all kind of in a haze, but it's happening. So, yeah, happy.
Sure, I'll just say summer's usually a time when people go on vacations and stuff, but for those of us that are stuck here, thank you for your group for all the great activities you plan for people to enjoy with the concerts and the movies and indoor camp and everything. So everything, as far as I'm concerned, has been a great success, and you guys are doing a wonderful job. Thank you.
Okay, so it's been a long journey for myself. This is my 7th year on this commission, and it's been a lot of fun. And I have been a part of the Community Service Foundation for the last 4 years. And Eric, thank you for your presentation. A couple of things about the foundation, too, that I wanted to add is that we are looking to do more things within the community. For instance, looking at doing a pickleball tournament, right? Pickleball has become a very popular endeavor within the city, which could potentially raise even more money for us. The Stuff the Bus program, I will tell you, being a part of that, and if anybody in the community wants to be a part of it, we would welcome it. When you actually see the kids and the families and they come and they thank you for what they have, which they didn't have prior to coming in, and the generosity that this community provides is simply amazing. And Megan, your aunt, is one of those that generously gives well beyond what we would expect. And it's that type of love and care that really make this community what it's worth. And being a part of the foundation, trying to give back to the students, to the local community, to the families, and to those people that are in need in the Parks and Rec. I would love to open up a dialogue for our own thing to help you maybe with their bathroom restroom restoration, you know, have something submitted to us, as that seems like it's right up our alley, you know, helping within the community, something of that nature financially. So all of those things are something that I cherish, and to be a part of this group and be a part of that group. Summertime, as you said, is the time of fun. Everything's out there, and guess what, Steve? I got an update. They won 6-0. They're moving on to the state tournament. So they will be playing, I guess, in 10 days. I'm not sure where that is. Usually it's in Eastvale, and they will be pitted against some very challenging teams. But last year they were in 3rd. So hopefully this year they might have a chance. And that's about it. Just, again, thank you all. Thank you all for your presentations. Amanda, thank you for everything that you do. It's been a great having you as a part of the team. Kelsey and Megan set the standard very high, and you have fulfilled those shoes immensely. And then for you guys up at Dirt Camp now, what you have done has really allowed those in the community that want to be a part of it to be a part of it, and not have their spots taken or challenged and not be able to have it. So I'm thrilled to know that you guys have made these changes. It's something that is long overdue. And any way we can continue to make that grow for this community. And then lastly, our foundation, when we give out awards at the seniors for graduating high school and those scholarships, it would be great that if you guys have CITs that are in there, that they include that in their resumes. Those are the things that we're looking for in terms of those students. They happen to be a part of what's called senior awards. So there is a scholastic aspect that they have to meet. However, there is an all-school award that is given as well. And I would love to be able to participate in that, to give out award financially to students that might not hit the academic standpoint, but have donated their time and volunteered within the community to show them that we appreciate them. So as you're taking that information, please pass that along to those students. So for future, we can potentially recognize them. And again, if you have come across somebody in your path that has done something above and beyond, and that you feel that they are deserving and recognized, there is a form that you can fill out. You can nominate them. You can send it to us. And if we feel worthy, we would be honored to maybe financially reward them for something that they have done in the community. So again, just trying to spread the word of the Community Service Foundation, what we do and how we give back. And thank you guys. And we'll see you in September.
When after school starts. Yes, thank you. Where can people find that application?
They can get it through the Community Services Department. I believe it's also online on the city website under the Community Services. There is some criteria. You have to be a Glendora resident, but also you have to be nominated for us to be considered for something outside of what we give away from the schools. And we're really looking for somebody, like I said, who, a lot of things get done in this community, we just don't know about it because no one recognizes it except for within their, their network, right? The Boy Scouts do it, Girl Scouts do it. All of these people are doing things to benefit our community. I want us to be able to get that information so that we can give back and let them know we're thankful, and maybe they will spread the word and it will continue to get stronger and stronger. So that's where we get it.
While you said that, I was thinking the Boy Scouts could possibly make an Eagle Scout project out of the bathrooms. Is that an option?
The bathroom needs significant work, plumbing, engineering, construction. It would be beyond
Beyond that,
their
okay.
capabilities.
That would be amazing.
They call it the Biffy.
Yes, just want to say thank you for all the presentations this evening. Eric, thank you for that. And thank you for serving on the foundation. And staff-wise, the reports were great. Amanda, great. Congratulations on your Shining Award and continue the great work. Just one last thing. I just want to remind everybody about the last evening summer hike. It's August 11th at 7:15. It's great. It's a great thing if you haven't done it. It's a great experience. And then also just would like to say, Commissioner Gerber, great work. You put in a lot of work this last year. And congratulations, Chair Kotowski coming in. So wish you all the best. And please go out and enjoy our city. I mean, you could tell, this is a great city, and you could see how people are totally vested in it. And please go out and enjoy it.
Thank you, and I just want to thank staff. I think it's been 13 months since I sat down and I had to recuse myself from the part of it because wasn't at the previous meeting. But the last year, it's been great getting to know staff, working with all the commissioners, getting to know people in the community who I hadn't just been exposed to, just people who were in different walks of life and working on different things. And so it's been a great experience and really looking forward to the next year. The My Civic Services app does works great. If anyone needs a tutorial, happy to do it. My only other thing is on Tuesday, July 21st, Glendora City Council is going to have a facilities assessment workshop at Bidwell Forum at 6 p.m. If anyone's interested in joining and hearing what they have to say about the Public Works Yard, about the library, you can also watch them. I believe they're also on YouTube. You can watch them, I believe, live or stream them the day after as well. But that's all. Thank you to everybody. I hope everyone has a great summer. And thank you to everyone tonight. And with that, if there's nothing else, is there anything else? Awesome. Then I'll adjourn this meeting at 7:32.